In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create this section with this 3-column row without using a speciality section in Divi. We are going to use shortcodes to implement this and make sure that it's mobile friendly. So I can show you what this looks like on mobile. So it's still got the 3-column display flex and also on tablet. So let's dive in and start building out this design. So I'm just going to create a new page for this. Then I'm going to hit use the Divi builder. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in that 2-column row. So let's go to the columns, and then I am going to go into the row settings, and I'm going to do a couple of things first before we dive into adding any of the content. So I'm going to go over to the design tab and sizing. I'm going to put the custom gutter width to 2, and I'm going to turn on equalize heights. This is always going to be set to a default of 80% width, but you can change this to 85%, whatever you want. On tablet, I'm actually going to make this slightly larger at 90%, and then on mobile, I'm going to put it as 85%. So the next thing that we're going to do is I want to make this display flex for tablets. So I'm going to go over to the advanced tab, go to custom CSS, module elements, and scroll down to main element and just put display flex. Then I'm going to go over to the mobile, and I don't want it to be display flex on mobile. Basically, display flex is going to mean that these 2 rows are going to be sitting side by side each other like this. And on mobile, this isn't going to look good. So I actually want it to be display block, but in tablet, I do want the 2 columns to be side by side. So I'm just going to go to the mobile and put display block. Okay, so now you'll see that they are on top of each other, and then if we head over, you'll see that they're side by side. So that's perfect, we've done that. Then what I'm going to do is add a divider in here, and the reason why I'm doing that and not an image is so the amount of text that I put in here, I want it to span the whole width of the text, the image. So I'm going to add a divider, and then I'm going to turn off the show divider. And under the design tab, I'm going to go to sizing and scroll down to min height. And then on mobile, I want this to be 350 pixels. But on tablet, it's going to be display flex. So it's actually going to be the same size as the text. So I don't need to put it there. I only need to add it for mobile. So I'm going to come out of that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an image to this first column. So if you go to content and head to background, go to background image, and then you can just pop any image in there. What this is going to do is when we're adding the text and the information on the other side, it's actually going to span the whole width. So this is going to look nice and clean. So the next thing that I'm going to do is go into the second column and go over to design. I just want to put a little bit of spacing on top and bottom so the text isn't exactly touching the top. So I'm just going to put 15 pixels top and bottom. Now we can start building out our text. So let's add a text block. We're going to add in, I'm going to copy and paste some of this content. So I'm going to add in the first text section. I'm going to put this as a paragraph, and then go over to design, go to text, and then set the styling. So it's going to be uppercase. You can choose your text color if you want to. I'm going to put this at 15 pixels and 1 pixel letter spacing. Then what I'm going to do is make sure that this is responsive. So I am going to put this as 14 pixels on mobile. Then I'm going to add my next text block, and I'm going to paste in this text here. So you'll see heading 4 is looking kind of small. You can actually set your default fonts for the page before you start designing. And the way you can do this is add in all of your font sizes. So you can do this as a heading 2. And what you then can do is go over to design and set all of your sizes for the font sizes here. So if you wanted this to be maybe 45 pixels, and then you wanted heading 3 to be 35 pixels, and so on, and you can do the mobile and tablet sizing. And then if you go to this icon here and go extend text styles, what you can do is you can extend it for this page. So by hitting this button, it is going to make all of these font sizes default wherever you add a new text block. So you can do that as well. But for this, I'm just going to, because there's only one text block, I'm just going to do this quickly. So I'm going to get out and I'm going to style heading 4. Let's go into heading 4. So I want it to be 40 pixels, and then I'm going to do on tablet 38, and then I'm probably going to do 34 on mobile. So then we've got that section. Then I'm going to add another text block for the pricing. Again, I'm just going to set this, so that's going to be 30. And then I'm going to also make that text slightly smaller. Okay, so now that we've done this, we've got this section set up. Now we want to add this section here, which is a 3-column row. And I know you'll see, okay, you can't add a row here, can you? So what we are going to do is implement it with shortcode. And the way to do this is to head over to the Divi library, and I'm going to show you exactly how to implement this. So I'm just going to save this draft and then go to the Divi. Okay, so what I want you to do is add a new layout. We're just going to title this test, and I'm going to create this a section. And the reason I'm creating this as a section and not a row is because we've got 2 rows here. If you just wanted one row, you could just create it as a row, but for this purpose of this tutorial, I'm creating it as a section. So let's go and submit and create our layout. So by default, it will go into the wireframe view. If you want to do it in the visual builder, then you can just hit on the desktop view and you'll be able to see the modules in the visual builder. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to remove the padding in the section settings. So I don't want them to be any space here, and I want this to align with the text. So I'm going to go over and go to the spacing and put 0 top and bottom. And I'm going to put 0 top and bottom margin. And then I'm going to go over to the row section, and I'm going to go to the design and put the sizing as 100%. And also again, take off the spacing, take off the padding, top and bottom. So I'm going to go into the visual builder. So you'll see that it looks now a bit like this. Then we're going to create that 3-column row. In each of these rows, I'm going to put in a blurb module, and I need to style these. So the first thing I'm going to do is put sleeps 2. I'm going to do the first one, and then I can just copy it and then put it over to the second row. So we can remove this text here because we don't need it. And then we just need to add the icon. I'm just going to grab any icon for now. Then I want to go over to the design tab, and we are going to set this to the left. And then we just need to set the text. So if you click on the pencil icon, it's going to take you to the text, and we're going to put this as 27, and then we're going to put this as 25, and then maybe 24 pixels. Okay, now this is done. What we can do, although now because we don't have any padding, it's a bit of a faff, isn't it? Because I can't get to it. So I'm going to go back into the wireframe, and then I'm just going to duplicate this and move it over. So, we want this to be display flex. So we want this to be in a 3-column row on tablet and on mobile. So what we need to do is go into the row, go over to advanced, custom CSS, and then go to the module elements, go to main element and just type display. So now when you view this, you'll see that this looks perfect on tablet and on mobile. So now that we've done this row, we can just duplicate for the second row. So this is looking a bit cluttered, so we're just going to add some padding. So let's just put 20 pixels. Perfect. Then we can check that on tablet and then on mobile. Okay, so we're going to save this. If you then go back into the Divi library and you go to where your shortcode is, so we're going to copy this shortcode. We're going to go back over to that page, and then we're going to paste in that shortcode. So I'm going to add a new module, and you can just add a text module. It doesn't need to be a code module. So let's just paste that in. So you might see that this looks a little bit weird on this is just a lovely little Divi glitch that I just absolutely love, but it actually doesn't look like this at all on the front end. So when you open this up, you'll see that this is exactly what it will look like. And then if we go to inspect, you'll see that on tablet, we've got it in display flex. So this looks perfect. And then we have our shortcode 3-column row within this section. So all you need to do now is, if you want to edit this, you just go into the Divi library and you can swap out, and this will change the design on the page. So you can't do this within this section, you have to do it within the Divi library because it's putting through that shortcode. So that is how to design a speciality section in Divi without using the speciality section. Make sure to hit subscribe to my channel for more Divi tutorials.